This is it, guys. I might have to get into the Call of Duty / CWL news scene because this past week or so for esports news from the Call of Duty scene has been pretty extreme. This latest story around a Midnight Gaming member known as Knight and now has been alleged / accused. I would say both those words, but mostly he actually admitted himself on Twitter in a reply to JCap last night to actually betting on CWL matches, which is strictly against, of course, the CWL handbook. I will link it down below for all of you guys, and he could be facing a fine, even plus of that, also a suspension on top of that for doing so. And ever since then, that tweet has since been deleted. But if you guys did see that, he openly admitted to betting on several matches as of last night, both between Gen G and Evil Geniuses. That's why, of course, he replied to JCap, and along with that, with Optic and UYU. The good news is, if he actually did live up to that bet that he did post and eventually delete on Twitter, he would have actually won that bet. So I guess that's the small good news that comes out of this. And I think, of course, not only a conflict of interest because it's directly against the handbook. If you guys do not know, if you are a registered player or member of any organization in the CWL, obviously by rules, by many leagues out there, CSGO being one, League of Legends being one, Overwatch, pretty much any established esports league has these same rules for very good reasons. You have personal connections as a player or as a member of any team or organization out there that no one else has, and you can use that to your advantages. And so that was why it's very obviously against the rules to actually bet on any matches, whether you're playing in them or not, whether you're management, whether you're staff, whether you're a player or a substitute. You're not allowed by any guidelines out there to bet on CWL matches. So if the investigation does turn up that he did bet on these matches, he will be fined $1,000 and given a suspension if they do choose to do so. It's at least a $1,000 fine. The suspension, though, could come with later offenses if he keeps on betting on matches. And even more so, the fact that he actually came from UYU is why it's also even bigger conflict of interest, because that's his former team. And so you could see the connections as to why that would even be more suspicious. And like I said before, this is common ground amongst many esports out there. We had a CSGO case, I would say probably over a year ago, where a coach was betting on matches. He eventually was fined, I believe, and kicked out of that betting group as well because of his conflict of interest to those players. Although he did kind of try and argue back as to why he did do it. It was a bit of a stringency, bit of an off case. This one, though, this is a member of an organization currently in the CWL betting clearly on matches. At least he said he did. If he didn't place the bets, then he should be fine. Although if you're going to take to Twitter in a minute, you probably should expect some sort of investigation to come out of this. And even more ironically, or just kind of oddly enough, it was actually a random member of the community responding to him and saying, hey, you know that's against the rules, right? Like, you shouldn't be doing that. And he replied with sue me. And that tweet has not been deleted. It's actually still up, and he's not going to get sued, but he likely will be punished by the CWL if they do investigate and find he has been betting on matches. And like I said before, it should be at least a $1,000 fine and could possibly be a suspension as well. Let it be a lesson to all future players out there for all future esports leagues. There will always be this controversy. There will always be this line where you cannot cross. Once you join an organization, once you join a franchise league or any league out there in this sense, just stay away from betting. It's a huge conflict of interest and will likely get you in trouble. As always, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoy. I'll be back here all day long with more esports news. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, take care.